Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here. Just got out of the shower, so sorry for wet hair, but oh well. I was just thinking, as I got out of the shower, believe it or not, how could I gripe more about religion? No. But I was actually thinking about the concept of lukewarm Christians. And when I was a Christian, and mind you, I was a young adult and I had chosen to call it reconvert or rededicate my life to Christ or something like that. I would hear preachers talk about lukewarm Christians all the time, and the concept is that Jesus would rather people believe and be convicted and firm in their beliefs and practice it, or just out and out not believe. And it seems to me that this is a very clever roundabout way of saying you're either with us or against us. And although I will not play the Nazi card or the communist card or the Jim Jones cult card or something, what I will say is that all such groups do have a philosophy of you're either one of us or you're one of them. You're either with us or you're against us. You either believe what we say or you don't believe. There is no analog value. It's a digital black and white yes or no value. You're either one of us or you are one of the world, one of the corrupt. And it seems to me, though, it's a little more clever than just that, because it's too easy to, how do I say this? Well, it's indirect. It's not just saying you're either with us or against us. It's saying, well, have the brass to, if you're going to be a Christian, have the brass and the character to be a true Christian. Don't just be sort of Christian. Don't be on the fence. Don't be thinking about it. Don't be agnostic about it. And don't be moderate Christian one day and then maybe you're kind of an agnostic atheist the next, and then you're Christian again because you're still thinking about it, and people change their minds, and people read one book and start rolling things around in their mind and start changing, and no gradients. It's either black or it's white. There is no shade. There is no gray here. It's either red or it's green. There is no brown here. Anyway, but it doesn't come off like that. It comes off like, well, gosh, if you're a believer, I'd really rather you be honest about it and be a believer. And if not, I'd really rather you just be frank. But if Jesus is who Christians say, then he knows, so there's really no reason for him there is no reason for him to discourage lukewarm people, because he already knows. Now, as far as human beings are concerned, one can very easily, a cunning preacher can very easily abuse this and make it a doctrine against moderation, against taking time to think about what one believes. If you're not our kind of Christianity, if you're not our definition of Christianity, you're lukewarm. And Jesus doesn't want you because you're lukewarm, and Jesus will reject you and hate you more than the non-believers. Uh-oh. And so it just leaves, and I understand not every preacher is going to mean this, okay? There are certainly going to be people who are like, well, I'm Christian, I'm this kind of Christian, you're that kind of Christian. We disagree on points of doctrine, but we can talk and we consider ourselves brothers and sisters in Christ and all this, and we can still fellowship and and I still believe what I believe, and you still believe what you believe, and we have the courage of our convictions, but we can agree to disagree. I know not everyone is like wacky fundamentalists, okay? I get that. But it just seems to me that this is something that can be abused mightily. And it would be abused on people that, not just like, oh, let's have a, whatever, philosophical discussion at 3 a.m. over coffee, but like, perhaps the newly converted, people who aren't, people who haven't taken the time to just, study different ideas and different branches of Christianity. And they're obviously children, because they wouldn't have had the opportunity to study different kinds of Christianity. They would have had the opportunity to just be exposed to what their parents exposed them to. So, yeah, it's just. But yeah, so it seems to me that whole doctrine of not being a lukewarm Christian can very easily be turned into this thing of it's us versus them. In fact, I really don't even know any other way to interpret it aside from please have the courage of your convictions, but as soon as somebody has the courage of a conviction about, about in the end everyone being saved and no one's going to hell, for example, some lugnut is going to say, you're a lukewarm Christian because you don't want to condemn people to hell. Or somebody will say, well, I don't see anything in the New Testament about homosexuality, and I believe that God established a new covenant through Jesus, so I really don't think homosexuals are bad people, and I don't think homosexuality is a sin. And then some other jackass is going to say, well, you're a lukewarm Christian, because there's stuff in the Old Testament about homosexuality, and So, okay, that's my ramble. I hope I made my point, although I wasn't very succinct, I suppose. And on that note, know thyself.